Hello, welcome. This is going to be the Daily Dharma. Thanks for tuning in. There's no fire to cuddle up to today, but I invite you to come in and take in some nature as we pause here and there, take in the sounds of nature all around. I'm hearing woodpeckers, lots of birds returning to the area. This is a false spring in Michigan, but you can take this video to be a timeless reading for you. I've got a couple code cards coming out. I'm going to try to not talk for a little bit, let you take in the nature as I set a few cards out. Sensing the need for sitting in nature, sitting in the sun. Something taking shape in our life. Yeah. Working hard for something, waiting for it to come to fruition. It's very well in hand. Sometimes the most efficient thing we can do to speed things up is to take a step back and relax and rest and come back recharged, and in that way able to make a bigger impact. Yep, that was on the bump. Okay, you don't say. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Many of you have noticed that this broadcast is more of an ongoing, evolving message, hoping to take the energetic climate and how we can fit into it and what it's asking for us to integrate into our life. I hope that the wind doesn't play around with the speaker too much here. Being outdoors, you never know. I have a little bowl of rose quartz that I'm going to be using to keep the cards on the table. As promised, let me give you a little peek at these energies. We have throat chakra. See if I can get the colors to come in there. 11, belief. I love that coming after throat chakra, and followed by communication. These cards so often come out together. And conception, these coming out in the top row. I've got a little bit of an inverted pyramid going on here, and even that may be a message for you. That top line here, throat chakra, belief, communication, and conception, is like understanding a new way to integrate our thoughts and beliefs that are always ever evolving, ebbing, flowing, and changing with both external input and internal process and resolutions, our own mirroring projections and accountability levels have been coming and going as we're able to grasp how to move and flow in a new way. And conception is something that we're beginning to talk about, something we're starting to express more openly, more forward. And perhaps it's because of the greater alignment within ourself and the message and the input from our guides and from the external feedback loops that we've got going on here. That top row is all about being able to bring the thing or hope or dream into being, whatever is inside of us, being able to kind of mold, sculpt, and and gather all of that into something that we can basically create something material out of. So for some of us, it's a product or a calling that is asking us to do something physical. But for most, if not all of us, I believe that this is also the purification process of the physical body, and however that needs to happen in your life, whether it's dealing with better nutrition or some type of um, vitamin, mineral, electrolyte, otherwise amino acid uh, deficit or overload, or even some types of detoxing necessary. Could be any type of thing. Like here in the country, our well water quite often has various levels of depending on where you're at, different heavy metals, and it's for a number of reasons. Farmer fields, and for decades and however long, chemicals have been used around the area that is in the groundwater, it's in the soil that is blowing around, it's in the air and water that is going through, leaching through the soil, evaporating, coming back down, depending on what you're talking about. I don't know where this tangent's coming from, but basically take account of your environment. Even if you're in the city, you don't have access to this every time you step out your door. And I've been in a small town city, I've been in a smaller inner city around the outskirts, and there's a lot of neighbor noise, there's a lot of traffic, and you may have, sorry for the shakes, I'm touching this table and it's jiggling. But based on your environment, what is the detox you need? Do you need to just get out of that constant white noise? I mean, I can hear the planes going by, but in the city, it's like there's so much overstimulation of all of your senses that your brain, in order to cope, must shut down some of the sensory input, such as we stop hearing the sirens when they're not close. It's like, not my problem, not my monkeys. And similarly, children crying in the city. I mean, there's kids all the time that are in different family situations going on. We don't interfere with that. It's just part of the environment. But out here, there's not houses right here. If I hear a child crying, my ears perk up. What's going on? Is there something I should do? Take those messages as they resonate, but there's some type of an exclusionary, distracting environment that we somewhat need to take a step back from in order to reset our energies and harmonize with the natural frequencies of the earth. Absolutely. So take that 10 minutes, even if you have to fake it. You can do, like, before bed or something, turn off all the lights, maybe candles, salt lamps, whatever type of ambiance. Really am partial to a blue light. It's very nice and soft, and everything looks different. And if I fall asleep, I don't worry about the candles burning me down. And with that, some type of, whether you have headphones or some type of surround sound, I'm just envisioning somebody playing some type of healing music with some type of background nature noises, or chakra healing frequencies. Sound is healing, communication, belief, and throat chakra. It's like the detox of what we've been missing. Sometimes can be because we've been in environments such as our workplace and our different demanding 3D lifestyles, and those energies numb us to other nuances at play. And getting back into nature, helps us to release the energies as we take in the natural frequencies. Enough said on that one at 10 minutes. The secondary line is passion, 34. Heart chakra, number 4. And 26, empowerment. I was just thinking today as I was shuffling some of the cards that, Pluto hasn't been talking as pronounced as recently. And it was on the bottom of this deck over here. We may use that. But there's, in this reset time, whether it's in your bedroom, in your shower, whatever you do to cleanse and reset, but I would highly urge you, if you can, get into natural nature. There are, the physical intermingling of energies is no joke. I mean, we can fool the brain into those frequencies. We can fool the brain into believing it's exercising through visualization practice, which has been proven. So why not utilize our powerful ability to envision, to align? And many of us are, of course, right? So aligning with our passions, letting our heart and the passionate core of our center. I'm shaking the table again. My apologies. To empower that, we need to step back from the distractions. So empowering the heart to speak about our passions, to envision what that passion looks like, to place ourselves in our future destiny as best as we can envision it at this point based on what we know, but asking the universe all of this and or better, please, so that the ego doesn't limit ourselves to what we can only imagine, but so that we can experience the unimaginable passion and the surprise and delight that happens through the everyday miracles in nature. I mean, you have to kind of stretch your imagination beyond the projection of the 3D objectives onto plants and animals. It's straight up survival of the fittest in many of these circumstances, and we are dust to dust of the same harmony or frequency. The need to harmonize our frequency with that of nature is so crucial to being able to create that clear pathway through ourselves, through being centered and aligned, so that our passions can actually speak through us and out into the world, instead of always having the subconscious activated portions of the brain being only attuned into that survival mechanism of, let's say, the city or the workplace. All of that residue sits in our auric shield and blocks things from being able to speak through us and to us. The third line has 2 in it, and it's Cosmic Flower, which was on the bottom after the second row, number 18. And Integration, number 30. So if you've been watching, you know how I take Cosmic Flower to represent the top-down view of the double helix DNA strands. And in this now, I am thinking of it as, sorry, the wind's picking up. Let me place my quartz on the table. Caught myself. So the DNA strand is also the way that our life flows through ourself, and the way that we interpret everything that's going on, or also the ability to tap into the unutilized portions of the brain that the people, they always say that we only utilize something like 10% of our brain. Well, those that are really tapped into other dimensions, realms, possibilities, the miracles of everyday nature, spontaneous demands of the moment. You know, when the storm comes, there's a need. So it's like pulling on the thread of what's been numbed previously, and realization. It's something about, I'm trying to pull it in, that's why I'm going slow today, but it's something about the realization of being outside of the natural flow of what the needs of our body, our physicality, requires a certain type of physical alignment and integration with the environment itself in order to be how would I describe that? To be able to be the conduit of spirit, to speak that into fruition with cosmic flower. It's like our ability to bring something into fruition is dependent upon our body's ability to appropriately replicate our DNA. I know that that sounds techie and overly logical, but it's also spiritual if you can make the connection with me. Let's see what left on the board here. Formation. Yes, I saw this in the pre-shuffle. Formation of our DNA. There's something about being able to bloom with the cosmic flower. It's the DNA is what is subjected to both the environment and our ability to integrate nourishment from our environment or not. And being that, unlike the plant, we can shift from environment to environment to environment, we pick up residues that don't necessarily belong in that internal environment. So that's why the detox comes in. And I see this as definitely a card of that sculpting our self out of our environment. Yeah, particularly belief in the crown and the back. Okay, so see the brown coming off the crown area around the head here, and I'm setting that on top of throat and passion here. I want to talk about the chakras just briefly. So the vortex energy. So each of the chakras is a wheel, a spinning wheel of energy. Think like a whirlpool energy. And at the 0 point is at the center of each one of those chakras. And they're not exactly in a exact row. They actually correspond to various organs and systems within the body, and that's why multiple energies belong to each one. I'll just leave that there. I just want to be brief here and not get too much into it. But so root chakra over here and sacral chakra are the first and second, and that's hearing the geese coming back. Welcome back. The root is, that vortex is pointed downward, expanding, bringing in all of the earthly energies. And we can move around, right? So we don't actually have a physical root, but it's there nonetheless. We're connected to this earth so profoundly that we can't really, without superficial, what's the word? Sorry about that wind if it's kicking up, guys. Without synthetic means, we can't fly as yet, right? So there's that root in belonging to the earth. Sacral chakra then through the third eye are oriented differently. The crown, similar to the root, is oriented upwards. So it starts in the brain and connects us, expanding to all that we perceive and all that we can integrate within the self from top and bottom. But then the intermediary chakras are exchanging information laterally. And so as we take things in and then they spin around and we make sense of that, we integrate those realizations and those heart um, and belief oriented emotions and thoughts and logic and ego and the ability to chase our passions and also to conceive of new ideas and shifts and change and growth and to feed ourselves on our passions or being able to share and exchange information and beliefs and to evolve with in our relationship with others, then all of this stuff is like swirling around us, creating a lot of webbing. I want to say a lot of synaptic information, a lot of capillary information, and I just want to take a moment, breathe that in. 2112. I get intense sometimes, well aware. I hope you like it. So these realizations then are then, ooh, I got this head rush with that oxygen infusion into the, what is it, the brachial, little tiny pulmonary dendritish ends. It's like the mycelium within the interior of the lungs expanding with the heart mind unity that's happening by this exchange with the environment. As we breathe in, we're breathe to the center and expand outward and inward and ask universal energies, flows, guides, guardians, whatever you believe in, to cleanse and clear all of this shielding energy, to be able to perceive and conceive of the highest possible vision for your future and pull that in for yourself, because there's a realization of how it's all coming together, and perhaps you're well on your way already to really forming this out of nothing. And so as I was describing, this takes a bit of a detox also here with all of the stimuli that comes into our heart space and every other organ and system in our body. Our navigation of those energies follows through the body and passes through the back of our beingness. And so there's an up and down flow and exchange. There's also this forward and backward. So as you cleanse and clear, take some extra time with your back, strengthening your back and being gentle with your back and stretching and appreciating and giving reverence for that conduit of spirit and that divine connection between earth and soul parts of yourself, blending and doing that dance, that sacred dance of Hieros Gamos within the self, that divine union of energies. Surface. So don't get lost in appearances, especially in a relationships. You may perceive one person as being more tense at the moment, and one person perhaps even asleep or distracted or looking in a different direction. Under that is time, divine timing. Maybe you feel like time is ticking, the biological clock. Maybe you're facing issues of aging. I'm seeing sun and moon here, and some type of boa of blue energy here. It's the harnessing of the yin and the yang within the self. Yes, that's that Hieros Gamos luminaries, divine connection. Let's see what's here. Clarity. That's beautiful. I love when the clarity card comes out. It's like this moment of silence to take things in so that you can cleanse and clear. And it's like the intuition stone on the sacral chakra is like being able to surpass any previous misgivings or early wounding or sadness coming through, because that's the emotional waters, the depth and connection to our empathic center of our psychic potential. So we've got this fertility coming up through the root from our earth, and our ability to take in the natural environment to then bring up that Shakti divine feminine energy from deep below and to surpass any self-sacrificial or self-denial or lack of belief in self, to surpass that and to bring that earthly flow into our lives and into our very hands, to harness energies of reflection and subconscious energies. That unutilized portion of the brain starts to spontaneously speak through you, to you, through your hands. You don't even know why you want to take the left turn, because the right turn seems to be the most direct path, but there's something here for you. Trust the intuition. Follow that. I'm tingling here. Follow that intuition and you will find something that you didn't expect. Someone, something to spontaneously come into your life. Perhaps even a storm warning. You may encounter something. The other day, I have to say this now that it pops in, I passed this church sign, you know, those old marquee signs that some will use, and sometimes it's quite judgmental or really like, what were they thinking when they put that kind of silly stuff out there? But sometimes you'll get a real gem. And this one I have, if you've been watching, I've been dealing with this masculine, feminine, the integration of inner masculine and feminine, as also this mirroring needing to happen so that I could bring in what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. I sometimes can't see myself, so even recording the self is helpful. And then this marquee sign said, masculinity and femininity is God's gift to us. Interesting. You don't say. I'll leave that there for you to unpack, if you will. Magnetism. Yeah, the magnetism of the divine feminine is speaking here. Like following the magnetism. If you don't know why you're going on that left turn, check it out. Lean into it. And it's got that sun behind it. It's like that solar energy of desire and of magnetism. Not like, oh, well, I should go make the donuts today. Showing my age. That used to be a commercial. Does anybody remember that commercial? Gotta go make that bread, whatever. But if I'm late to work, I might not want to take that detour, but there might be a traffic jam ahead that we don't know about. So even in the real world, if we follow those impulses, we might avoid something or find something that helps, that creates the assistance and the divine support spontaneously, miraculously out of nowhere. Or we might know the answer to something and not really want to say that we know the answer, but there's clarity here. Maybe you could just say, I wonder why I'm drawn to that stone or that word today or that lyric in a song. Songs will speak to your subconscious and through you. If a song's going through your mind, go ahead and search up the lyrics to that song. Look at it as poetry and as evidence of your magnetism happening on a psychic level to help your growth, to help you to look at anything. Context. I love this card. It's so fiery and gorgeous at the same time. It's like that fiery, lit up energy of the inner child that just giggles when something sparkly captures the attention. The child doesn't think about the need to pay the bills or to clean up the toys at this point. They're thinking, oh, I forgot about this toy. I forgot that I was going to all of a sudden that I was cleaning up, now I want to play with this toy. Oh, what does this do? I forgot this. Ooh, they're following the flow of divine inspiration, and they're learning through the tools that they have at their disposal, the toy. Um, they're creating clarity. They're creating context based on their environment, and their hair. Have you ever heard this? I don't know if it's a myth or a truth, but that there were some native people that kept their hair long because they believed it was part of the their connection with the environment and their intuition, and that then when they cut the hair, that their intuition was a little bit cut off as well. There's something about that wild and spontaneous mane of hair being shown here. And I even see Saheke, a Reiki symbol. Over here, emotional healing. Little chipmunk just went scattered away there. So yeah, I like this reading here. Taking time, all of these things are great things that we can apply to our life. And I went on a lot of tangents, but I really hope that you were able to get something out of that. Based on my timer, I know I got to round it up. So let's close with something a little lighter. The pre-shuffle, we had You Are Adored, and you have more options than you realize. So like I said, I tried to give a few examples of how to connect with nature. If you can't get away and you're at your desk and you're having a meltdown, and you got to be there, maybe you can put on some nature noises on your phone and just place it so low that it's almost imperceptible to you, let alone anyone else that might have a problem with you listening to something soothing or some classical music, whatever you get into. But your subconscious hears more than you're able to hear. It's about the numbing ability and the ability to reset the subconscious. Ask with love, and their answer may surprise you. Yet, whatever their answer, be happy, and this may surprise them. Hi, it's love, and I, dot, 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 the universe. So maybe you need an upgrade in an environment, either with a work environment. Maybe you got to ask your boss if you can put this music in one ear because it's helpful to you and you're overstimulated, and then you just need a little whatever. And you may create an exciting and impactful change within that environment for yourself and others. Maybe your boss is like, dang, I should try that. I am super stressed. There isn't a soul who doesn't crave your approval. So, if you're happy with their answer, then that creates change. When in doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. When there's no doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. Did I make life too easy? The universe. P.S. There's no doubt who's number one in my book. Shh. Got a teacher's pet here. So, anyways, take that. I send you lots of love and clarity and understanding for your journey. And here's where we part. So check out some other messages if you need. Take care. Bye.